Hey, happy almost gobble day. Have you ever noticed a lot of songs that sound completely different have the same tempo? Well, I finally did. Took forever. But it's amazing the disparate songs that have the same beat. So once I started looking into it, it just like it's never going to end. But just for pleasure, no information here, just trivia. Imagine that these songs are the exact same beat, and Imagine is one of them. But you got I Am the Walrus, Rocky Mountain Way, The Gambler, Kenny Rogers, Space Oddity, Heart of Gold, I Want to Know What Love Is, Nights in White Satin, Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, Oasis's Wonderwall, Ed Sheeran's The A-Team, the verses of Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, Chandelier by Sia, A Christmas Song, Oh Holy Night, same beat, Wichita Lineman. All right, Criminal by Fiona Apple, Like a Rock, Bob Seger, We Are Never Ever Ever Getting Back Together. Let's see, Listen to Your Heart, and What About Love? That's Roxette and Heart, and they're basically the same song. Holding Back the Years, that was a good one. Cross-Eyed Mary, Jethro Tull, Imagine, and Give Peace a Chance, and I Am the Walrus are all the same beat. Hey, Dazed and Confused, that's a good one. Dedicated Follower of Fashion, one of my favorite Kink songs. Santa Baby, another Christmas one. Big Yellow Taxi. Sowing the Seeds of Love, Tears of Fears. Those Were the Days, Mary Hopkin, Paul McCartney produced it. Tom Sawyer by Rush. And Hold Your Head Up, Argent, and Lately by Stevie Wonder. So here's a tip. Put down a tempo track and just feed yourself straight lines and sing along with it and come up with different cadences. Maybe just gobbledygook nonsense, like I talk a lot. And maybe once you have a set beat, you might come up with something that's a keeper, and then you build from there. You got to find your chords, of course. But if you get a melody and some lyrics, that's a good start. And as a bonus extra credit, the tempo I found has the most famous songs is 137. Anyway, happy gobble giving, and keep the cranberries away from me. All right, this is about untraditional arrangements. I like songs that are really interesting, not like anything else you've ever heard. In the 60s, you just couldn't wait to hear the radio, to hear something new, because no two things were the same. You could hear Yellow Submarine on one side of a 45 and Eleanor Rigby on the other. You could have They're Coming to Take Me Away, Ha-Ha, and Whiter Shade of Pale come out in the same year. I love variety. You have movie soundtracks, instrumentals like Wipeout, and a lot of Venture songs too. But I'm coming at it from a writer. I like to write unique, interesting things. And they sometimes crash and burn. Other times you end up with a gem. There's just nothing quite like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's got no standard pattern. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida itself is a unique thing. What about There's Only One Good Vibrations? Fleetwood Mac's Oh Well, just brilliant. And there's nothing else like it in the world. The Who's masterpiece, Behind Blue Eyes. What a weird arrangement, and it's a hit. Eleanor Rigby again. What? And Space Oddity, weird song. It's got some repeatable parts, but it's a weird song, and Rick Wakeman is making all those noises. So go out on a limb. You can always pare it back, tone it down, simplify it if it's not working. I got some clarity, and I can fix old songs now. Didn't used to be able to do that. It was like they were carved in stone. But they're not. Just take a chance. Do multiple versions. There's a song called Never Gonna Let You Go. I think Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil wrote it. They wrote a lot of hit songs in the 60s and 70s. Anyway, it's got about 37 chords and a dozen modulations, and I'm sure they did it starting out as a joke, but it's a masterpiece. A big hit. Rick Beato had a piece on this song, said it's the hardest song for any musician to play live, not physically, but mentally, to remember all the ridiculous changes. So that's fantastic. I love that. Barbra Streisand has two songs that are linear, one of my favorite patterns to try to write, and surprisingly difficult to do. She has one called Answer Me and Evergreen. I think she wrote Evergreen. Anyway, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, it's kind of linear. The Chain has three main separate parts. by Fleetwood Mac, but it works. They're just totally different. Songs with no bridge. I have a song called Haley Daily. It has no bridge, but it doesn't really need it. Some song, it's my favorite thing to write, but if it doesn't need it, it doesn't need it. I heard Sounds of Silence for years before I realized it's just the same thing over about 5 times, all along the Watchtower. A minor, G, F, G, beginning to end. There's technically no chorus or bridge at all. It's just the same thing, one thing over and over. Papa was a Rolling Stone. The Stones' Lady Jane, 8 Miles High, no bridge. So I call it linear, and I kind of like that. So untraditional arrangements, just write what you write and see how it comes out. And if it's a little bit unusual, that means it's fresh. Nobody's ever heard anything like it. So happy Turkey Day. I'm going to have some mashed potatoes.